And the second half of the show is live. What else would it be on Halloween? Good afternoon. Welcome in. Might be dead soon. There's been some dead segments, but we'll skip over that as we say hello to Wes Blankenship from College Town. Wes, good to see you. Haven't been around in a while. So what's up with you?
Paul, it's always a pleasure to come on, a trick and or a treat. And I got to point out, man, the last time that we were together was before the SEC championship. And you told Danny Brams you didn't know if the segment I was on was going to be very successful. Nobody gave me a chance. Your whole network doubted me. Nobody believed in me. And then they tried to rob us with calls. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. But I'm glad you came around. Glad you invited me back on. And on Nick Saban's birthday, no less. Roll Tide, Paul.
You know, it is 2 hours and 2 minutes into the show. And for the first time, maybe in 17 years, that has not been noted until you just said it. It just shows you how far Saban has fallen.
He's out. Get him out.
He's no longer relevant. We don't have to talk about his birthday anymore, but I hope he and Miss Terry and everybody else is having a wonderful Halloween. Let's get to something you've been doing lately, and you've been doing what I love to do more than anything, and that's visit college campuses. Tell us about how it came about and what exactly you have found.
Yeah, so I was really honored and humbled that the team at Saturday Down South gave me a chance to host and help out with the production of their documentary series called College Town. And we went to 5 different towns, and the whole crux of the series was, what would these college towns be if not for college athletics, specifically college football? We went to Athens, Tuscaloosa, Gainesville, Clemson, and Chapel Hill. And I know people are going to hate on Chapel Hill. Why are they a football town? But the Tar Heel fans up there were just as proud of their heels on the football field. When we taped this summer, I'll say, it's been a little rocky since then. But it was great, man. It was great to get out on the road. We had a great team, good mix of our cast. Actually had three guys working with me. 2 of them were from across the pond behind the camera. One of them was another producer from the UK. So a little bit of culture shock, but it was great to kind of experience Athens specifically. I mean, that's right up the road from me. But being with that crew kind of allowed me to tap into some things and experience with a fresh set of eyes. So all in all, a really great trip. And y'all can check it out on Saturday Down South YouTube channel and on SaturdayDownSouth.com.
So between Athens, Tuscaloosa, and Gainesville, what was the best city and the worst? I know you're not going to answer that. So let me get.
I mean, I'm biased, but obviously the Classic City is amazing. I mean, it takes the cake. But it was great to go to Tuscaloosa. I haven't been there before, and I went to Georgia, but you never get the chance to go to Gainesville. So it was cool to see their campus. Really different vibe down there, kind of in the middle of a swamp, literally. So that was cool. And they let you go in the swamp. I got to speak with Chris Doring, who does a great job on your network. And it was just a memorable, once-in-a-lifetime kind of trip.
So speaking of both Georgia and Florida, you may have missed the fact that the game is this weekend. We're heading there.
Oh, it is. Yeah,
we got the
right.
bus gassed up, and we should be on the road here in a couple hours, trailing down. So what to expect, first of all, from a cultural standpoint? You know these fan bases very well, and then we'll eventually get to the field.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at these 2 fan bases, they couldn't be further apart, right? And Georgia riding high, almost kind of dealing with this success, almost Alabama-like. I won't say that they've accomplished quite as much, but it's to the point now where a win is a relief and a loss is the end of the world. And Florida fans just down in the dumps. Now, we did record this series in the summertime, so there was still a lot of hope for Florida. And I never believed that Florida is going to be as bad as everyone says they're going to be around talking season before camp starts. So I'm not surprised that Billy Napier's maybe managed to survive and save his job, whether he wins or loses in Jacksonville on Saturday. And I think the Gators have a pretty good chance to shock the world, Paul. I know that Georgia chalked that up as a win coming into the season, but there's a lot of factors on the field. DJ Lagway, a mobile quarterback. You saw what Jalen Milroe did to Georgia's defense in Tuscaloosa in a perfect quarter plus of football. Maybe Lagway can find some success as well. And Georgia missing Dirty Dan Jackson and Janelle Aguero on the back end thanks to those targeting calls in Austin.
Somebody mentioned, you mentioned Lagway. Somebody mentioned Carson Beck a minute ago, and I was struggling really to come up with an explanation. He struggled. I still think he's quite good. But what do you think is going on with him this year?
It's just the turnovers. I mean, really, the turnovers are the thing on the field this year that are demoralizing and upsetting. But look at what Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey are doing in the NFL right now. I'm not saying that they're all the reason for Beck's struggles this year. He's thrown some passes that I know he would love to have back. But both of those guys are starting, they're contributing, and Georgia's offense ran through those guys to the point where they both played when I think they weren't even close to 70, 80% healthy at the end of the year, and Georgia really needed them. That shows you how much they actually did need those guys to survive and succeed, and they weren't close to healthy in that SEC championship game against Alabama. And there's a lot of guys that Beck can throw the football to right now, and beyond that, the Dogs' RBU identity is kind of missing right now, and that opens up so much for Beck that he doesn't really have. They found it against Texas, and if they can tap into that, bottle that up the rest of the way, then I think it could help Beck out a lot.
Wes Blankenship, always great to catch up as we thank you very, very much for.
Absolutely. Got to head out to trick or treat, Paul, so
it looks good.
Thanks for having me on.
Kids, I'm
going as a young Paul Finebaum.
You look perfect. Oh, my goodness.
Thank you.
You've got to look down. Well done. Thank you very much, Wes
Thank you. See you.
Thank you. I'm going as an old Paul Finebaum. We'll take a short break. Kevin Elko, not Kevin Elko, Mike Elko. Kevin Elko used to be on this show, wasn't he? But Mike Elko, who's the head coach at Texas A&M, will join us in the next hour. We look forward to talking to Coach right after the break.